So today I am so privileged to be sitting with a lady that continues to exemplify the creativity at its optimum. Gillian Gia Curry-Williams, Dr. Gillian Gia Curry-Williams. And so we're going to have a chat now, and we're going to start this conversation with Gillian, asking you, Gillian, to share with us what is something least known about Gillian, that quirky thing, that thing that would even amaze the family. What is it about you that is different?
I love to sing. I love to sing. I love music. I love harmony. I love harmonizing. And I always feel like God, like you could have given me the voice,
right.
You know, like help a sister out, let her be able to sing, you know. I love music.
You love to sing. You love music. So when people see you in action, when you're the woman on the job, and you know, there's these fashion shows, these huge shows that you would have been a part of, and you were focused and bringing in, nobody would imagine that when you're home in your downtime.
Not even then. I had to go somewhere yesterday, and I pulled up. I had the music loud. The volume in the car was to the highest.
Okay.
And I pulled up outside an establishment. And when I went inside, the lady said, "Boy, we heard the music before we saw the car. But when you pull up, we see you busting in the car." Man, that music was so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump ahead a little bit, seeing that you're talking about music. When it comes to your motivation and your journey, what is a song perhaps that really, when you may be feeling a little down and out, what's the song that you would turn the volume up on?
Oceans by Hillsong.
Oh my goodness.
Like, that has been in my head.
Oh my goodness.
No matter what song I go to, that is like there. Like, I singing it when I'm working, when it's playing. I singing it if I'm away from my music. It's in my head.
Oceans speak about making that walk that seems impossible without God. And so that's awesome. So we could tell already where some of your strength comes from. So tell us about Gillian as a child. Tell us about your family life. Were you part of a big family, or were you an only child? Tell us about you as a child and into adolescence.
Well, I was an only girl. I have two brothers, and I was in the middle. And I think in growing up, my mother was a nurse, but my mother sewed on the side. And my father was the accountant at customs, and he was a tailor by trade.
Wow.
So I guess one of the children had to get it, and it was me.
Yes.
But growing up, it was always us. You know, Mommy would only let us go to Mama. Mama was on East Street. Daddy would come from Customs. Customs used to be in Oaksfield. I mean, if you know East Street area, Mama, Market Street, and Mama was coming through the corner. And Mama right there on East Street, an old corner. But he'd come pick us up. He wouldn't let us walk. We were a close-knit family. My parents were hard workers, and they just wanted the best for us. That's all they wanted. I think my mother was more stern with me, because sometimes I'd be like, I can't be getting away with stuff.
The boys.
Yeah, but she only on me.
Yes.
But yeah, that was, and I always knew in growing up that I didn't really play with dolls, you know, for some reason. And you would think that somebody who was into design would have the doll thing.
Yes.
I wasn't into the dolls.
What were you into?
I was into shooting marbles and catching lizards and frogs and
tadpoles.
You like the frogs on the tree, and you know, child little experiment. But I always wanted to be like my brothers.
Yes.
And so dolls were never. That's strange. Now I'm thinking about it. But I drew in my books.
Okay.
Designs were always here.
Wow.
And that's why I tell people, you know, you could call me on the phone and say, and I know I'm going up beyond your question, but
no, that's
you could call me on the phone and you could say, well, Miss Williams, I want this, and I'll say, but I need to see you.
Yes.
I need to see your personality. I need to see how you interact with me. Because you could tell me, Miss Williams, you made a dress for somebody, And I want that same dress, but that dress was made for that person's personality.
Oh my goodness.
That dress ain't made for your personality. I need to see you to see whether you could carry that dress, because a lot of people think that a dress is supposed to carry you. A dress ain't supposed to carry you. Mm-mm. You supposed to carry that dress, because
Yes.
you supposed to wear that with such a confidence that if nobody tells you you look nice, child, it don't make a difference to me, because I know I look good. So I go home, my shoulders up, and I just step.
My goodness. And let me say, that is an eye-opener for me, and I'm sure it'll be for many people, and quite powerful, because for me, I always think about the difference between people who acquire a skill and people who are gifted. And what I hear from you right now in that description, and how that exudes, that passion for that exudes out of you, that is your gift. And to think of the fact that your items and what you make, your creations actually are a reflection of the person in life, that is powerful. That is that, and even in that, that means it will bring more value to the person, because it's built according to their shape and
Yes,
according to how
yes.
they carry themselves. The
Yes.
colors, I'm sure, would reflect and just bring out the very best in them. And so that in itself is an amazing thing.
But you see, that's what people don't understand, that part of it. They just think, you come, and that's why I'm always. When I first went off to school and I came back, I knew I didn't understand my worth, and I didn't understand my worth because I allowed people to call me a seamstress. And I'm like,
Okay.
I have a whole degree in fashion design. And so when I went back to school some 9 years ago now, 10 years ago, and my marketing teacher, she was like, you are damn good at what you do. Do not ever let anybody call you a seamstress. You are a fashion designer. And she made me keep saying it. You are not a seamstress. So when I came back home, I was in the fabric store, and I was coming down the steps in the fabric store, and one of the girls in the store said, that's one of our seamstresses there. And I said, no, I'm a fashion designer.
And see, culturally, in our country, these titles and terms do make a difference, because there is a difference how we will approach a cook and how we will approach a chef.
Right.
And there's a difference between how we will approach a seamstress and how we will approach
Well,
a fashion designer.
They don't understand that there's a difference in
So
how
we
you
have to make this
approach.
clear.
Because some things a seamstress does, I wouldn't do that to construct a garment.
Okay.
I go the extra way, because if you open my garments, you'll see that I go the extra to make sure you have that structure built in, and that dress can fall right and look right, and I take all of that into consideration.
Yes.
So there's a difference. I'm like, I've been to school twice.
Yes.
Like, I have a double degree.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, no,
So you took the gift and you went ahead and you brought that expertise, so you could have the precision and the things that you actually had in your mind. You could find the most productive and efficient ways to make those happen.
Yeah.
I want to take you back though to your childhood. You said you always had this with you. You drew in your book. Do you remember the first time you would have taken a book and made a drawing of a design, and why?
I think I did a dress for my mother. I remember it was like a celadon green, almost a sagey green with celadon hint.
You actually physically sewed it and
I
put
sewed
it
the dress.
together. And so when did you actually start sitting at the machine and mom showing you this is how you thread the needle, this is how you...
I don't even know if my mom ever did that.
You did?
I think I just did that on my own, because she had a sewing machine.
Yes.
And my father had a machine. Well, my father's machine was the old ones where you take your foot and you pedal, like this. Yeah, and turn your hand, But I kind of did it on my own.
That's amazing.
Because
That's
I wanted to do this thing. Just, people see you and people think you just plop right there.
Yeah.
No, this for me is a passion. This isn't I have nothing better to do, so no, I live this, I breathe this, I sleep this. This is me.
And I think that's what carries over when we even see your work online, why it's so outstanding, why whenever there is an event of any significance that deals with fashion design and representing, you're always on call. You're always being called, because somehow or another, somewhat we realize that what you do is unique. And it's awesome. And I have to jump ahead because COVID. and I look online, and people trying to wrap their minds around wearing masks, and here comes Gillian and Romilda Rose with these masks that are suit for kings and queens. Where did that inspiration come from?
Well, I got a call from someone to help make masks for the doctors and nurses and medical institutions in the U.S. And I said, okay. It wasn't anything I was being paid to do. It was doing it as a donation. And so I made masks. I think I sent off a little over 3,000 masks. And then one Sunday, I was making some to go, and someone called me and wanted to know what I was doing. I said, I'm making masks. I sent her a picture, and then I guess 2 hours or so later, her sister was here, who was a doctor, and came to purchase masks, and then everybody saw her own and wanted to know, and then it just picked up from there. But in doing all of that, we also did masks for Persis Rogers. We did masks for the medical team, the full medical team in Exuma.
Wow.
The police officers. I can't even remember who else we did masks for. But we also, because people were like, oh, she doing masks, sent away, and what happened to the people here? Yes. We did masks for the people in the Bahamas as well. It's just a lot of it. We didn't talk. We did it.
So let me ask then, because for the business aspect of what you did, we have a lot of, this show is for entrepreneurs, small business owners, people who had maybe failed attempts, people who are on the starting line, and they have these goals for business. And you talked about, you did something as a donation, first of all, and that just blossomed. And so that reminds us that even in business, even though we are there for an income, we still have to be alert to the opportunities that come to give.
Exactly.
And to extend our borders. But what would you say then that in doing that catapulting you into creation of masks that actually helped to supplement your income during this whole COVID experience?
It actually did, and mind you, when I started making masks to send away, making masks to sell wasn't even. That wasn't even. Because I'm like, making masks, like, really?
Yes.
That wasn't even in my frontal lobe, nowhere. But it just, like I said, it just blew up. It literally blew up. When the doctor got her on, it just blew up.
So like you say, you thought of it. Here you are a fashion designer. You make exquisite, elegant gowns and wonderful things. So how did you make that pivot as a business person to say mask and actually do it?
I don't know. I guess it was God. That's all I could say. And we started. The thing was, the criteria for the mask for the U.S. was different than what was required here. And when we started making the mask local, we started them with a certain amount of measurement to the side, and then as we went along, it was like, no, we could do this down smaller so that it fits more snug on the face, and so we thought about we let our mask evolve from one thing to the next. And even with doing what I call our structured mask, it was like, no, we need something. You could either get this or you could get this one. I made one of the ones that everybody wear that fits to the face that looks like ski mask, I call it. Yeah.
Okay.
My daughter was like, Mommy, no, everybody owns like that. No, that's got to be different. So the structured mask is what made us different. I see other people doing them now, but ours, you could tell the difference. Yeah, you could tell the difference.
Now, you said your daughter would have advised you with regards to design and creativity. Does she also sew? Is she also on the...
No, none of my kids have picked up. No.
That's sad. That will end with you. Maybe not.
I teach sewing, so hopefully one of my students would pick up and grasp and want to pull this rein, and so I'm hoping that happens.
Let me ask you about your schooling and education. What course did you actually take when you say you furthered your education initially with regards to your craft?
Well, I went to the American College for the Applied Arts in Atlanta, Georgia, and I did fashion design, pattern drafting, and then I came to a point in my life where I felt like I wasn't creative anymore. Like I was going through some things, and a friend of mine said, you need to apply. She said, it's time for you to apply for a scholarship. And I was like, man, who ain't gonna apply to a scholarship? And she said, apply to Life of Key. I said, my Life of Key, at my age, Life of Key, give me a scholarship? Really? So she said it, and I doubted at first, and then I listened to her.
Yes.
And I applied. And when I applied, they requested a portfolio of my work, and I sent it. And then I got a letter saying I didn't get it. And I can't remember the story in the Bible. I keep forgetting to go and look in the Bible where something was happening. I think it was with Hezekiah, and somebody gave him something, and he put it on the altar. And then they sent me another letter saying that I was an alternate meaning. It's been offered to somebody else. If they don't want it, then you get it. I put that letter in the Bible, and every time my Bible was on my dining table, so every time I passed to go to the kitchen or to go out the door, God, this on you.
Oh my goodness.
God, this on you.
Yes.
God, this
Faith in
on you.
operation now.
And then I got a letter saying that I got it. Yes. So when I got it, I took the steps of going. Then you had to go through Jamaica to get your visa and thing to go to Canada and all that, because I had applied for Canada. But the monies that they were giving me was not enough.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm like, okay, God, now. Tourism, education has to do their part.
Yes.
So Life of Key reached out to education, and education sent a letter back to them saying that at my age, what could I offer the Bahamas?
Oh, wow. Here is something we never heard before.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't talk it much,
Yeah.
but I think it's been long now.
reality.
I could talk it now.
It's your reality, so we can
Yeah.
share it.
They said, what could I offer?
Oh my goodness.
The person wrote them back, and whatever it was the person wrote, I was offered the scholarship.
You said, and this, it struck me when you said it, before you took that, and thank God for this friend who would have said to you, go ahead and go off to school. Before you did that, though, you said you felt like you lost your creativity. What was life like at that time? This is your world, creativity. How did you handle whatever that tragedy or tragedies would have been in that time that could have limited and stopped this entire thing, stopped you?
Well, I was going through a divorce. There was a lot of mental cruelty, and the mind is a serious thing to play with. And to have somebody bombarding, I couldn't think.
So what was it that the wind that you used, what was the wind beneath your wings that helped you to get through that very trying time? Did you have to reflect? Was it something you learned? Did someone come into your life? How did you find that mental strength, emotional strength to get through that part of life?
I have always been one. Anybody that knows me, even if they don't know, they'll know now. You could knock me down. You could kick me. You could do whatever you want to do to me. But trust me, I may be down for a day, 2, maybe a week even. But that's the most I can stay down. I will rise.
Yes.
And I rose. I got the strength in me. Some things had to happen. The person they had to go. And I got the strength in me to rise up and know who I was. I had to keep quoting, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, God. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And I'll go stand in the mirror, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And that God loves me. And I had to keep playing that in my head because there was a point where I was afraid to come outside. I couldn't come outside because I was like, the neighbors heard, the neighbors here, the neighbors going to say who she is and and that played with my mind. But I had to take control. And when I took control was when I was able to move forward.
And so that battle you won, the wind then was the word. The word of God.
The word kept me.
My goodness. And
the word kept me. And people see you, and you don't go about broadcasting, but people don't know what it was you went through to get where you are, and the factors that make you press forward and press, not just tiptoe pity, but press.
Where did you get that fortitude of mind, even coming into it?
I think I've always had it. I I've always been a strong person. It was like, no matter what you may have said about me or whatever, because people said some mean, nasty things, but man, I let that, like they say, water on the duck's back.
Yes.
That drop there, that drain off, and
Yes.
like, I don't have to live with you. I don't have to see you. You don't have to say nothing to me. I will talk to you because it's God's breath. If you don't want to answer me, that's fine.
Yes.
But I press it.
Yes. And even as you say that, I'm thinking that in this field where it's all about everyone's unique taste, and then of course there are some people who will just refuse to acknowledge your greatness even if they see it, right? And so obviously then when you sit down with a design that's coming out of you, being birthed from you, you produce it, and there are going to be some people who will frown, some people who will give it the oh no, and some people who will make that vocal. Do you have that experience? And when you get those type of no's or people wanting to make your design and your work feel insignificant or want to reject it, how do you deal with the naysayers in general?
It doesn't matter. I am at a state in my life, and I am at the age where your opinion about me doesn't matter. It doesn't. As long as my customer is happy, I'm good. Because I am pleasing my customer. I'm not pleasing you. I'm not pleasing the masses. I please my customer. I am not, like, persons will come to me and they want their belly out and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that designer.
Okay.
That's not my aesthetic.
My goodness.
Okay? So you will go, like I said, there's hundreds of people around you.
My goodness.
You go to them. But people know they don't come to Gillian for certain things.
My goodness.
And that's the standard that I've set.
And I think that is so important. I think that right there is a wisdom key for business owners and entrepreneurs. You have defined your brand. Mm-hmm. You have defined your business based on your standards. Mm-hmm. And so often I think we disqualify that. We may have an idea and we want to cater so much to the audience and to everyone that we are afraid to make that definition. But look at it. It pays off for you. Like you say, people know who to come. It helps to define your audience and draw them to you. What is it like doing business in this Bahamas? Is it difficult? Is it?
For me, to a certain extent, it's not been difficult because the customer knows what I produce, so they know what to come to me for. And I have a lot of loyal customers. As far as getting fabrics and whatever, what I can't find here, I have suppliers.
Okay.
So I can find anything that I want once I know ahead of time. So for me, it's not a bother to me. I try to put the best that I could in a customer's garment.
Yes.
I don't put just anything. I don't put just like any interfacing or any, no, if this don't go with this fabric, I can't do it. You know, I test fabrics. When I purchase them, I may buy 1/8 of a yard and I wash it or whatever to see how it's going to do.
Wow.
Yeah, because when you come to me and you spending money on that fabric, then you paying me to make it. That's your money.
Yes.
And like I always tell people, I can take your money, you know. But I want to know I have your money and you're pleased with what you get.
Yes.
So,
how do you work in terms of hours? I know, because again, a lot of people see the glamour and they see the idea of being your own boss, having your business. But what is it like really in a day? Like, what are your hours like? Do you ever get off?
My husband told me with my age is I'm never really off because, you know, there is, as far as Remilda Rose is concerned, I do my best work at night. I really do. I get some work done during the day, but my best work is done at night. I kind of stop seeing customers around 6:30. I don't want to see you after that because now it's time for me to come down and my brain start percolating. I mean, my brain always percolating, but it could start going faster then. And I could think and I could do things. And if I've typed something, my brain is going. I could type and no phones ringing, nobody bothering me. I mean, you may send me a WhatsApp, but I'll be like, see what time it is. Like, I mean, I do, you know, a lot of my customers could tell you I will answer you in the evening. I will do that. I don't have a thing with, you see what time it is, I knock off. Now, on a Sunday, I may take a little longer to answer you. But other than that, I will respond. But yeah, and then I have the Fabric of Hope Foundation,
Yes.
which is a whole other thing. So I'm trying to juggle. I have a lot of stuff going on, now that I think about it.
Let's talk about that, because you have been, Gillian, the fashion designer for so many years, and now you have launched and you've embarked on a phenomenal project, one that is being displayed in what you're wearing, this fabulous, unique design by you. And it has a message behind it. It's a movement. I mean, you actually created a movement from your skill. So I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about why, with a functioning and productive fashion design, why would you launch this? And I was privy to see the launch of the magazine associated with this. Please tell us about this very amazing work.
Well, the Fabric of Hope Foundation came about after my father was diagnosed with cancer. And going with him to treatments, I kept asking God, like, I'm only a fashion designer. Like, I don't know how fashion design will work with cancer, but God, I'm only a fashion designer. But what could I do to help these people or persons with cancer? And he gave me two things. One was to create a print that's made up of some of the colors associated with the various types of cancer. And the other was to give them makeovers. I was like, well, yeah, okay, fashion designer, I could do that. Yeah. And I knew once God had said it, he would give me the ways and means to do whatever it was that needed to be done. So I reached out to a company in England, and I worked with them to create the print and the colors and everything. I had to I went to Pantone and looked at the colors, chose the colors and everything, and then didn't realize when we were all finished that England don't deal with Pantone colors.
Wow.
So the colors were dull when it printed. So I had to bring the file, I had to take the file and send it to a company in the US, and I had to pay them to change all the colors to Pantone colors. And yeah.
That is something.
That was a process. That was a very expensive process, but that is what had to be done. And then the company that was printing it in the US, it wasn't printing with the brightness and the brilliance of the colors that I wanted. And I was like, this is not, I'm going to use it because I use it for the show to introduce it, but this is not it. And then I was looking one day on Instagram, and I saw this company in Indonesia, and I was like, all I could do is try them, And I sent them the file, spoke with them, and ordered samples, and when it came, I was like, yes, this is it.
So you said, first of all, in this phase now, it's almost like starting all over again. You have, like they'll say, you had Romilda Rose on lock. Okay, you got that. You can do it with your eyes closed. Yes, you took on a baby. Oh my goodness, and a very unique baby. Wow. And so I heard also in that risk. Well, first of all, I heard that your step forward and this whole idea came from your inspiration from God. And I think that's amazing, because sometimes we just, something pops up or whatever. We launch into things, and it's not necessarily grounded in waiting on God or asking God or revelation. So I think that's phenomenal, and that's probably why it's so beautiful and successful. But I hear risk. You went to England, and then you tried the US, and then you tried Indonesia. We're in the Bahamas. I hear major risk. How do you frame your mind to just launch like that, to make these amazing steps?
Well, I just feel that because I try to acknowledge God in everything that I do, that he guides me in the right direction. There are one or two times I think I've gone on my own and made some decisions, but for the most part, God has guided me in the direction that I should go with what I'm doing.
Your video commercial ad is the real moneymaker behind your business. It grabs the attention of potential customers, delivers your message, and points them to your location. Is your business missing this essential asset and increased sales because of the extremely high cost of video commercial production? Here's your game changer. The Win-to-Win Production Services introduces the smart solution for professional quality video commercials, delivered quickly and easily. 2x2 delivers your video commercial ad in 2 days at only $200. Efficient and affordable. Call or WhatsApp us today to secure your production spot at 242-428-7310. This amazing offer is for a limited time only, so call today. 242-428-7310. 2x2. Watch your customers and sales grow.
The Fabric of Hope Foundation has an accessory line. We have bags. We have leather bags with the print on it.
Yes.
We have wallets. We have espadrilles, the unisex. We have belts. We have flip-flops. We have carry-on luggage. So we have gone off into that area as well. And then you mentioned the Hope magazine. The Hope magazine has been out a year.
Yes.
January's going to make a year. And we have 3 issues per year. And I'm just excited. It's a global magazine because we have stories in it from all over the world. Artwork of students from local schools here and over the world.
Yes.
So it's a very global magazine. It's not just for the bombers. But also from the Fabric of Hope, the offshoot of it is we take care of persons who have cancer.
Yes.
We assist them. We assist with rent or food or getting you to the hospital, getting your medication.
Wow.
Yeah, we offer assistance.
And
as
so
well.
the Fabric of Hope, it's called.
The Fabric of Hope
It's
Foundation.
actually a foundation for the care of people who are in a dark and trying time.
Yes, we're there for them.
Now that right there is phenomenal, which makes you a phenomenal woman.
Thank you.
The heart behind it, I congratulate you and your team members, whoever they may be, for that work. Yes. But having had Romilda Rose is almost then seems like your training ground, because this, what you're doing now, is an enterprise. You said you actually have luggage, shoes. I mean, you know, that is, and if nobody else is saying it to you, that is extraordinary.
Thank you.
From one individual who hung in there and stuck it out and just followed your passion and your pursuit. So let me say now, here we go again. Here we grow again, I should say. Romilda Rose, undeniable success story. The Fabric of Hope, just looking at it. Undeniable success story.
Thank you.
And then now, after all of this, we have Sister Talk.
Yes.
Sister Talk is now an absolutely different avenue altogether. Tell us about that. What inspired that?
See, because although I have Romilda Rose in the Fabric of Hope, and although I may be sitting here talking to you now, God knows that I'm a Moses, that I need an Aaron. Okay, so, but I thinking for God now. For him to give me Sister Talk,
Yeah.
like, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I don't talk
Me?
like that.
I
Me?
know, right?
Like, ew. So I put it off.
Okay.
And I was like, no, you have to get it started. And Sister Talk is for women who want to heal.
Right.
Who want to heal from hurts of their past. They may have divorce hurt, childhood hurt, mother hurt, daddy hurt, sister hurt, brother hurt, auntie, uncle.
Yes.
Yeah, but women that want to heal. Because I've been through a lot of hurts in my life.
Okay.
People don't know I can write 10 books
Okay.
on what I've been through in my life. But you need to heal.
Yes.
And the first step in healing is acceptance. And acknowledging, not acceptance, but acknowledging what it is that took place. So the whole thing is to try and get women healed, because you have so many women walking around that are hurting on the inside. And the thing about these masks is the women already had on masks, which we couldn't see. But now they got a mask that they could literally put on, so you really can't see.
Right.
But if you look at them good enough, you can see the hurt in the eyes, even though it's
Symbolism.
a mask
Oh,
on there,
my
so you can see the
goodness.
hurt in their eyes. And they need healing. And women need a space to, we do it on Zoom, because women need a spot where they could talk and feel comfortable. And my prayers every time I do it, because it's done every 2 weeks, don't put anybody on here, Lord, that's going to go and talk what happens in here. Let this be a safe haven until we could possibly come together and talk, you know. But that's what Sister Talk is all about.
Amazing. Amazing. I mean, you have so much heart and passion behind everything you do, and God in the midst of it all. And so I know you will have continued success because of that.
Thank you.
Okay, one last thing, Gillian. If that person, well, let's say you, during that time when you said you felt like you didn't have your creativity anymore, I keep going back to that because it's so important on this journey. We will have things that will stand in our way and say, you know what, you're done, you're finished, you have no value, just go in your bed and go to sleep, or whatever people do, just go have a drink, just give up, just settle. But you walked through that. If Gillian in that moment was sitting here, what would you say to her?
Well, I know that Gillian was going to get up, but I'll tell her, child, girl, get up. Girl, look here. Shake, go brush your foot. Put on some clothes. Put on some makeup. Hold your head high, and let's get it going.
Let's get it going. Let's get it going.
Ain't no time to sit there crying. Ain't no time for that. Life has to go on. And I had children.
Okay.
Yeah, they were little. You know, my son was still in college. My daughter was working. But no, I have to live. I'm sorry. I am not going to cause you to cause me not to live. God ain't say it was my time yet. I ain't hear him tell me I must give up. He didn't. So I had to press. I had to know who I was in him. And I think that's where a lot of persons go wrong. They don't know who they are in Christ. And you got to know who you are in Christ. And you got to know what he wants for you, because he wants good for us. He wants us to prosper.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That's what he wants. That's what my Bible says.
Yes.
That he wants me to prosper.
And so you just know some things.
Yeah, that he
You
wants me
know
to be in
some
good
things
health.
that
How I
God
could be in
said.
good health if I'm sitting worrying, if I'm stressed, if I'm... That only brings on toxins for your body, and then it causes cancer and high blood and this thing and the next thing. And no.
Well, I love what you said. So for us all, as we stand on the brink of the future, we have to know who we are in God. And it seems to me that all your resilience, all of your fortitude, all of your let it go down the back, you know, it comes from knowing that God says, no, I want this for you. So you refuse to have what isn't that. And that means success, because he says he'll give you power to get wealth. So whenever something isn't looking like what he says, you determine, hold on then, I need to still keep going. Because,
and you got to hear him.
Yeah.
You have to hear him. You have to know him for yourself.
Yeah.
You have to know him. I always tell people, I could read the Bible. God speaks to me. I hear him. I'll give you an example. Yesterday I was watching somebody on Facebook.
Yes.
And I heard the Lord clear. He said to give the person some money. Okay? I heard him.
Yes.
And I was like, Lord, how am I supposed to do this? I just had to get the grocery for the child yesterday. I got to pay her rent. Her light bill is way behind. I got to pay that light bill.
Yeah.
That's almost $500. Like, where is it supposed to come from?
Yes.
This is how we're talking about now.
Yes.
And it went for me. And then it came back, put it back in my spirit to give that person a certain amount and to send something to somebody. I was like, what? Let me tell you, I did it. When I did it, I had a customer call me, first time customer, wanted me to make something for her. She'd call me like, she wanted to have a consultation with me. And because I was dealing with the issue with the lady with cancer, I just couldn't get to her. But I remembered her. sitting here, and I called her. I said, I am so sorry. I sent her a voice note. And I said, I've been dealing with this issue. And she said, what's been going on? Because she had cancer as well.
Oh, my goodness.
And I told her what was happening. And she said, you know what? Instead of getting my dress made for Christmas, I will bring you some monies for the young lady. Now, you know, I thinking she could bring me $50 or, you know, because then she went on to tell me some things that was happening at her house that was unexpected, and some bills or whatever with some termites she had and all that. And it was, yeah, so I was like, she probably could bring me $50. When she came here to my studio, she bought me double of what I had given to the first person.
Listen here now.
Okay? Double.
Wow.
Okay? The second person that God had me to send some monies to, I had a lady reach out to me for a mask. She wanted one black mask. Okay? She wanted it structured. All right?
Yes.
She came here to pick up her one mask, and I had some other ones made.
Yes.
And when she finished paying me, it was double plus half of what I sent to the second person.
My goodness.
Okay?
Oh, my goodness. So, woman of faith. That's what I point for you now. Woman of faith and blessed and highly favored. Could you look into the camera and say something to the aspiring entrepreneur, not just an entrepreneur, but a creative, a fashion designer perhaps, who isn't sure about releasing their work, who is being told that fashion design, what do you think this, you know, what is that? Speak to them and just give them what they need, give them the wind, the understanding that they need to make it happen.
First of all, you need to know that this is not an easy process. This process has taken me 30 plus years, but I've never given up. I've always stood behind my designs, whatever it is. I stand behind it. You have to know your aesthetic, whether it's for design or whatever it is that you're going to do. You have to know who it is that you are trying to reach, who it is if you're going to do clothing, who it is that you want to wear your clothes, whether it's the teenagers or the middle-aged or the elderly. You have to know whether you're going to be making clothes for somebody who's disabled. You need to know that, and you have to stand behind it. It's not easy. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not easy. It's hard, but once you put God in the front, remember the Bible says that in all our ways we should acknowledge him and he will direct our path. If you put him in the front, he will direct your path. And open your ears to hear. I always pray like, God, make my ears like Samuel. Let me hear you when you talk. Open your ears to hear him when he speaks and do what he says, and you'll be fine.
Okay, we don't have tears on this show, but thank you so much. Thank you so much for being willing to, even in that moment, mentor someone who is looking to achieve what you have achieved, which is quite a phenomenal work, as I keep saying. Dr. Gillian Gia Curry-Williams, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have blessed us with your very simple truths, but obviously very powerful truths that have been your wind to winning in Romilda Rose, with the Fabric of Hope, now with Sister Talk, and I'm sure there's more to come.
There's more to come.